We're finally getting into this draft. Hopefully
Yes!
we get into the game.
We're in. No one pick a skin. Defaults only.
Defaults only, exactly.
Please, my heart can't take it, man. Heart can't take it. But we're going to go through the draft. It has been confirmed that Kane will be the final pick, not Kinetic. It was a misclick. Joey's team have agreed that they can take the Kane. So that will be the final pick coming out for the side of Bruto's team. And I honestly can't wait to see the synergy on these teams because both teams have three members. We see the Kinetic on Joey Skaggs. It was a matter of time, it is a matter of when, not a matter of if, but it does come out on the first game.
Speak of the devil, and we get to see the Joey Skaggs signature Kinetic. I'm actually quite excited to see. We talked about it. We know how good he could be on it. It's just up to him this game to deliver and to perform and to put on a show for the crowd of the EU people watching this here Corona Cup. Wow.
Yeah, exactly, man. And looking at this first game, okay, who do you think will win?
Who do I think will win?
What team?
Well, we know Combo Man can set up the combos. Like, he can set up the initiation with his Baptiste, right? He can ordain people into a triple tap. He could ordain them into a sleep, etc., right? It's all going to come down to if Joey Skaggs' team is able to gain the tempo before Immersion hits level 6 on this Viola, right? Before she gets the lullaby, before she gets the sleeps, the move speed, the extra damage, etc., the cleanses, before she hits level 6, if Joey Skaggs' team is able to get a lead, they should be able to come out on top.
Right, exactly. And as we move into the first game of the second series, guys, if you are watching, you're just tuning in to the Vainglory Corona Cup. We are on the second series. If you missed Solicitude versus Artisan IU in the first series, you can go check that back now or cover your ears because, spoiler alert, it was Solicitude's team that won 2-0 against Artisan IU.
Yeah, and we see a very similar starting rotation from both teams. Both teams starting out the Crystal Treant and the Healer. Actually, Electronic taking both bears. They're kind of hyper-feeding Electronic here, trying to give him as much resources. Electronic hits the level 2 before Bruto.
Yeah, we'll just have to see if Bruto does actually get stunned up there, but no fish food, that was just huge, so no double stun, but Electronic going very low already in the bot lane. You see Distant X versus Life, and in the top you see Joey versus Noso and Nomo. And Noso and Nomo and the rest of these players, we expect them to play at a very high level. We've seen them play against players and compete against players like Hundo, like Tyrus, like Keanu Nakoa on Team Germany before in WESG. And honestly, people say, well, how good Hundo is, how good these players are from the previous years of Vainglory. They put up a fight, and I would expect to see a very strong performance from these players.
No, exactly. They have the experience and they have the synergy. Players that have experience typically tend to be a lot more patient than players who don't. People who don't have experience playing competitively, I normally see that they become a little bit too either tense, and their fight or flight responses are a bit too like sporadic, I guess, and it makes them like their decision making isn't as high. So we see Nomo not taking any trades with Joey Skaggs, just kind of saving up his HP to farm up these minions.
And this is that patience that you talk about as well, Blinds. We just see Noso Nomo just choosing to wait until his minions are under his turret and then choosing to let the turret help him farm because he knows that as a melee Arden, he cannot go up against this Kinetic. He's going to get zoned out, especially by a player like Joey who plays it so well.
Exactly, but on the contrary, we see that Combo Man and this this Kane on Wisdom X. Both of them were actually together trying to farm up and trying to push this Tony into tower, trying to harass as much as they can, try to get as much turret damage done. They actually did get, I think, a slight chunk on it. Yeah, they got about quarter HP. on the turret. We see Electronic rotating back into these camps, starting up the Crystal Tree, and I'm pretty sure Ariel is going to give up both of these bears to Electronic, trying to get Electronic as fed as possible. Never mind, Ariel will greed and take the bears. Just kidding, Electronic doesn't want him.
No, and even players like Electronic as well. Electronic is such a skilled player, and especially on Celeste as well. It's really his comfort pick, and especially even on Brusso with the Samuel, another comfort pick in the mid lane. It's gonna see Brusso really popping off. If the core collapse does land in the fish food, not gonna be there unfortunately from Keys, and that will be the flash popped from either way, from both the Celeste and the Samuel, but. Still all to play for in this game. 0 kills going over so far. In a very patient game.
We see Combo Man actually coming through. There is vision in the bush. Tony matches the Baptiste. Both mid laners have no flask. Ariel lands a taunt.
Yeah, and Combo Man actually looking a bit caught out here. Getting fish food to the stun from the Tony. But will actually be Keys going very low. The mouse inverters can't quite land, and Oriel actually now choosing to go in, but the Haymaker trying to go in, the perk there coming out just for the shield, and Bruto actually going very low. Miss base cat from Celeste, not going to be enough, but it will actually be anyways. Combo Man falling for first blood, can't quite position himself out of that team fight like Bruto could, and Bruto now forced to stay in the lane.
Yeah, as we saw, Ariel actually managed to stack his barriers perfectly, right? I'm pretty sure.
In the bot lane as well, life going pretty low.
Let me catch up on what's happening here with life. Both players actually, Wisdom Max at around half HP and life pretty low. He still has his flask. Both players have the flask. Ariel is going to meet up with life here, trying to give him a little bit more breathing room. Earlier in that team fight in the mid lane, we saw Ariel actually stack both of his barriers on top of each other in order to negate as much damage as possible, trying to land as many taunts as possible, but Bruto actually manages to get out by the skin of his teeth. Very well played. Good positioning on the side of Bruto, but...
Right, exactly, and Bruto just really playing that Samuel really well, knowing exactly when he needs to engage and when he needs to disengage with this hero. We've seen Bruto play it so many times as Samuel, but we've also seen Electronic play this Celeste so many times, and Keys also knowing for his Lorelei, so the ability just to zone out with the splashdown and with the double stun and core collapse, and the fish food, as I say, so strong as well. We see that Joey stun coming out onto Immersion, and actually Joey coming down here into the mid lane. There's no moves left there in the top lane, but he's going to move back out. Chooses actually to avoid letting that wave crash under his turret, and Tony now going to be rotating down with two other members. He's an Electronic onto Combo Man and Wisdom X in the bot lane.
Yeah, Wisdom X still does not have that damage that he's known for. The
bada boom into the core collapse. There we are, and in the Wisdom X still alive, but never mind as he does get hit by the Heliogenesis. Now Combo Man going to be very low to an immersion in the back foot. Oriel going also very low. The perk comes out to give the shield to Oriel, but immersion and Bruto now in the back foot. We have to be very careful with positioning. Immersion perhaps almost caught out, has to use the boots there. Rare mistake here from
that drifting dark.
Combo Man now coming in, the Ordained there as well, but the fish food, and that's going to be Combo Man unfortunately too aggressive and not his team there to follow up, and a bit of miscommunication there cost another kill.
Just a few mechanical split. Oh, we see Ariel actually missing the taunt. Could have ended very poorly if it were to land on immersion. Joey Skaggs has the ultimate, so we know that it's a lot of damage in the early levels, especially when no defense is being built.
And these 3 kills here as well. Blanks going up the 1,000 gold lead aside Joseph.
Exactly, there were just a few not necessarily miscommunications, a few micro errors. Actually, Life being able to almost 1v1 Wisdom X. He has a 1 level lead on him. Never mind, Wisdom X just hit the level 7. Both players actually no. Kane does not have the flask. Life goes on to Wisdom X, lands the stun and the root. Wisdom X is gonna need to pull out here, and he's trying to do that. Ariel tries to match Life in pushing this tower.
And they're going to try push this down with, obviously, the Kane pushed out. It's going to force a man into deny him time healing chance. So that's going to muck up the timers a bit on his own jungle. And that's just the rotations there coming from this Tony. And Electronic's going to actually be taking over his barrier treant for himself. And as he moves back into the mid lane, I'm sure to avoid this wave crashing under his turret. A slow pushing out here, the lane against Bruto.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. I'm not necessarily used to seeing the top laners actually pushing back the bot laners back under tower, simply because in NA the jungler kind of camps the bot laner. And normally it's 8 minutes, right? The first tower in NA would have already been gone 4 minutes ago. Normally, at least in averages, but we
Right, they're very aggressive, but a cleanse there from the Viola is just what they need on the Taunt, and that's going to save them a disastrous, potentially, team fight there. But Electronic also going very low. It looks like they couldn't really afford anyway with those low health bars. Still has the flask in hand, but doesn't want to use it quite yet.
Keys actually still has the ult. We might have to look for a bada boom here from Ariel.
And
Double
two-man
taunt
coming in, and here comes the stun to Taunt, and a bada boom there for Tony there onto. Now, actually, backfire though is Combo Man has run straight onto this Celeste Wolf, having to come out to protect the Electronic. And the Helo Genesis just moving back now. Level 8, here comes Life. Missy's on the Giphian wall, has to roll out into
triple root.
Yeah, the triple root, as you say, and that will be him just continuing to move back. Can't quite find the help from his team, and Joey Skaggs in his top lane, all the meanwhile still actually struggling to get this first tier turret against Nosa.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised he actually didn't rotate. I'm not entirely sure why he wasn't able to. Maybe Unomo was just too strong, right? The Arden might be able to 1v1 kinetic still. She now has the Serpent's Mask, and she's building into this Bone Saw. I don't know. I feel like definitely both teams could have done something. The bada boom from Ariel was really strong. It actually sent me flying as well.
Right, exactly, and I'm honestly just surprised that we've only seen 3 kills in this game, because if we see another engagement coming out, but that's because of the cleanse from the Viola, they just can't find a way in. And Combo Man actually using his Gears Shade a bit preemptively there is going to be down for another 38 seconds there, and that's going to cost him perhaps if Joey Skaggs decides to move in. But Electronic and Key's going to continue to try and push the mid lane. We're about 11 minutes coming up into the game here, and still 1,000 gold lead here.
Look at Life actually trying to 1v1 Wisdom X. Life
Joey in top lane as well will go down to Combo Man and No Soy and Nomo. That will be another first kill actually going over to the side of Team Bruto, and that will be on them on the board here. But in the mid lane, Electronic and Key still putting pressure on Bruto. Bruto with his flask go almost up, and here comes a rotation from Life. See if he can catch.
No vision in the bush. Hopefully Life might be able to, if he lands the roll. Does not. Ariel does have Bada Boom open still. Lands the taunt onto Bruto. Sends me flying as well.
Unfortunately, yeah, there's a cleanse on Viola. The Viola is working wonders for them in this mid lane. No amount of CC matters when you've got the cleanse there from the Viola, and Immersion really playing such a great support so far.
Exactly, and like I was saying, until this Viola is able to hit level 6, Joey Skaggs' squad is gonna need to do something, and now Immersion has hit level 6. Team fights will now become extremely more difficult to fight on the side of Joey Skaggs' team. They need to find a rotation. They need to open up this map. They need this god tier Joey Skaggs kinetic to be in the fights, as we have not seen his debut in any of these skirmishes so far, since he's been too busy trying to push up towers.
And that's just because of how good No Soy Noma has been doing. You talk about the patience in these pro players, and actually we move into a team fight. Bruto have forced a Crucible out on the Ordained here, coming out on from the Baptiste, but Oblivion's gonna miss, go wide, and Combo Man has to stay a bit longer into the fight as he avoids that fish food. Now Bruto trying to go in, the Ordained once again onto Keys, the Bada Boom, 2 members, and now that will be Viola. They run in with the War Tread, but it will be too preemptive, and now comes the cleanse, and Root is going to miss as well. Give him more fish, but is actually going to land in the full-back Solar Storm into the combination. There was no way out of that, and that's going to be 2 more kills going over to Team Joey Skaggs. We talked about them needing a fight, and this is it. And they will potentially, they will take as a 4-man rotation this bot lane.
Joey Skaggs was not even present right now. There's literally not even a gold lead. It's actually dead even though Joey Skaggs' team has a 4-kill lead. Joey Skaggs has not been in any fights, and as it seems, they do not need him. This team is able to do anything that they want on their own without the help of their all-star player. Ariel with the incredibly well-timed taunts. He always lands at least a taunt on 2 people, and Life only missed 1 root that entire fight. They lined
Here
up.
comes Ariel with a taunt on into the Impale and the fearsome shade, trying to but Samuel, and that will be 2 members going down. The Crucible there used for the core collapse and the cleanse on from the Viola as well, and unfortunately they lose another pick. Very quick assassination here. No, we're trying to find Oriel, but not enough damage right now. Is a tanky yard and not a 1-punch yard in this game. Joey Skaggs now moving into the mid lane just to try push these waves into turret and deny some more farm.
Yeah, and as we can see here, they're gonna want to take mid lane tower. I thought they might have wanted to go for a Ghost Wing buff. Combo Man is still up. That's not where you want to stand. Why would you walk in front of a tower when there's a Lance right there and he gets obliterated?
Yeah, unfortunately, just their mistakes there from Combo Man. That will be him falling once more. Not having a great game 4 right now, but surely, come second game, I'm sure he'll be able to make these mistakes and to rectify them and come back for his team. But Nomo, meanwhile, pushing on that second turret, and that's going to force a rotation back from Joey. They do secure the Ghost Wing buff, though, and we will lose a second turret for it.
Oh, Nomo might actually get into a scrimmage with Joey Skaggs. Just kidding, he wants to secure the barrier treant.
Kayn in this mid lane, though, absolutely burst down by the side of Ariel Electronic and Keys. And that will be another kill going for the side of Joey Skaggs onto Joslu there. And they move their sight possibly onto this Black Claw and Lance on the other side on their top lane equivalent there on the second lane. And that's going to force a rotation down from Combo Man, forcing rotations back and forth. Joey's finally going to get that 15-minute first turret, and they're going to get the second turret as well in their top lane. So that will be Life securing a second turret alongside with Joey Skaggs for their team. 5 to 7 turrets right now for the side of Joey Skaggs.
This is such an interesting game. This tempo and the way that it's being played, it's just the junglers are being so impactful, right? Normally in a North American game, you see the bot laners, right? Literally the ADC that's always being camped by the junglers.
Here comes Oriel once again, almost going in.
Having the tempo in all of these games, but in Europe, the jungler seems to be so impactful and seems to be doing so much. Right now, Joey Skaggs' strategy is to let the Black...
The Banner Boom into the Solar Storm into the core collapse! I'm going to have to interrupt you here, Blanks, because he actually... blowing up here, and now Oriel will be executed as they make a rare mistake here on the jungle side, and Life actually going down low. They managed to blow up one, but the Black Claw still pushing on their second tier turret here, and the fight will continue surely, and they will have to defend this objective push. 2 turrets going down so far, and it looks like they perhaps tried to go for Combo Man, but instead just going to go back and leave that Black Claw to die.
Yeah, these bada booms are actually so strong, they're sending me flying as well. I'm almost completely out of the action every time Ariel presses that R button, but goodness gracious. The tempo that this team have, although they're 2,000 gold ahead, only 2,000 gold ahead, this still leaves some breathing room for the side of Wisdom X to come ahead to do something and come back, right? They do have a Kayn. Kayn really only needs 3 items in order to really come online, and
here we too, it's to talk about coming online here, Blanks. Oriel is just running down at this point, the taunt, and they actually don't secure that CP buff, but the Fist Food and the Solar Storm zoning people out. The Oblivion comes out, but the Crucible as well in the response. And that will be Nomo falling, and unfortunately, Joey Skaggs just running people down with the help of Ariel. They take another pick off the board, and Bruto actually caught out perhaps as the Flashdown comes out. They won't be able to find him. He's going to mouse and vote it just to keep him back.
Lands the stun onto Wisdom X. Again, there is just way too much action. Joey Skaggs' team, right, they're only 3k gold ahead, but they're 8k, they're only 8 kills up. They're trying to secure this Ghost Wing, but Keys is below half HP. Gets secured by Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel will take that with a Storm Crown on her kit, and that will be Ariel securing the Ghost Wing buff, and that's what they need. They actually managed to defend that first tier turret in their top lane for themselves. They still have a first tier turret in the mid lane, which is proving so impactful because with only 1 turret, for the side of Bruto and all 3 turrets left to the side of Joey Skaggs. It gives them so much presence in this jungle here and so much way to maneuver. And they actually catch out Combo Man here with a taunt. The Fearsome Shade comes out but actually cancelled, and that will be devastating for the side of Team Bruto. The Fire Man Gauntlet, they actually trap all members inside of it, and the fight's still breaking out here. No actually putting out the attack slow onto the rest of the team, but the floor collapse is insane! Flags! Vader's got deleted with 1 CC ability. That is what you do when you stand together.
I cannot believe it. They're getting CC after CC after CC off, but they can't land a single kill. I'm not entirely sure if it's just the Ghost Swing buff or if it's just the tankiness that these players have, but Electronic, no HP, still able to somehow miraculously live even though he's asleep. Joey Skaggs, same thing. This Serpent's Mask is able to do so much work for him. They're just not dying in these fights, and the damage is not there for the side of Wisdom X and Bruto.
Right, and with the Black Claw now respawning onto the rise, that is surely gonna mean that they're gonna take objective, put the scout cams around it, and force a play from the side of Team Bruto. They're trying to go in onto Ariel here, but the Joey Skaggs in this lands aren't here, and the Solar Storm comes out preemptively to try and fish them off. But Ariel also having to be careful, use the Bada Boom defensively. That will be down for 50 seconds, and an impactful ultimate like that in all of these team fights is going to cost them.
Ariel is just way too tanky. The amount of bars, actually Combo Man gets rooted, the stun from Lance lands onto Immersion.
Both teams getting pretty aggressive right now, but here comes Ariel straight onto the back line, but the Fearsome Shade actually out here. The is going to land onto it. Never mind as the fight continues to happen. Front here it will be no story number on the back line, but it doesn't matter as the front line is actually split, and he does actually manage to separate life from the team. He's also going very low.
Still has his
trying
ultimate,
to balance and verdict. It will be actually a quick snipe from Joey Skaggs.
Joey
the back
Skaggs
line managed to take one onto Bruto. He's just might delete him right here. And the Solar Storm managed to find it. 2 kills going over from Electronic, and Joey Skaggs to find 2 more. And there's only no Combo Man left. There's only 1 turret left on their side. They have to try to delay them, and the Gauntlet comes out onto the.
Oh, he gets the kill onto Joey Skaggs. Electronic, no mana, just finishes him off with 1 more auto. The healing that is coming out from the Serpent's Mask on this kinetic is absolutely insane. Joey Skaggs actually had his ultimate there. He could have just pressed it, but instead wanted to finish him off with 1 auto. Does not meet that end, actually. Ends up getting turned on by
He's going to regret that, man. He's going to regret that so hard dying to that Gauntlet, but that's unfortunately how it goes, and he's going to be in the dirt for 10 more seconds as they try reset. Both teams getting so aggressive in this late game, choosing to fight after fight, and now we go for the Ghost Swing. Team Joey Skaggs wasting no time on these objectives.
Yeah, my eyes actually are on Ariel every single time a fight's about to engage. This man is literally running into 5 people, trying to be as annoying as possible, landing all of these taunts, landing all of these stuns, hitting these bada booms right into the teams. Ariel might actually be the MVP for this game. He's doing everything that he's supposed to and then some.
And with the Ghost Wing buff, they move straight onto the Black Claw. They don't even know it's happening. Kane has to go back to reset and get his infusion up. Kane not even infused for this fight, and unfortunately that will cost them this Black Claw, and that's going to be a 22-minute Black Claw pushing down on their base. They've got 1 turret left. It will be Ariel coming back in again. The Drowsy comes out onto 2. The Gauntlet trapping 3 members. There's no more Crucible for their side.
Life is still alive
out between teams here, and it will be him still alive now with the help of Ariel, but Fishfood comes out, and on the backside they're still split. The Black Claw meanwhile all pushing down, and Live actually might go down here as the first blood. The turret, the taunt, sorry, from the Tony will land, and actually the first blood will come out from the Kane and the Viola. Very quick succession as Joey Skaggs ramps up and more as he just gets 3 kills, and now Combo Man also having to try to defend Bruto, the last remaining member of the crew. The reflex bot comes out, but now it doesn't matter as it will be 4 kills, a triple kill for Joey Skaggs. This is a kinetic that you want to see, and there is nothing that Bruto can do. The captain, the Soul Saliva, is just going to have to watch as they destroy the Vein Crystal.
Electronic on this Celeste actually proves to you why you need to ban it away from him. The man is 13-0, did not have Joey Skaggs with him throughout half or even more of the game. It was literally Electronic, Ariel, and Keys versus everybody. Absolutely
His
everybody.
core collapses were insane. That is some of the best core collapses I've seen from any Celeste. And I just kind of want to talk about builds right here. And interesting, actually, that Life chose to go for the teleport routes, going straight in there. But I think what cost him in the end, unfortunately, Joslu didn't have a great game, 0-6, and the Kane is not what you want to see. He really struggled with his build. As you can see, only 4 items come 23 minutes into the game. And it will be Tony, and no surprise that Tony is banned off. But actually, from the side of Joey Skaggs.
Ariel, yeah, exactly. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure if I were to be Bruto right now, I would hover this Celeste because as we saw last game, this Celeste was putting in absolute work. From my experience, we banned it every time we played against DVI. Celeste was a permaban, so hopefully they do the same. They banned San Feng and Lyra on the side of Bruto. I'm really thinking about a Celeste ban right now, but maybe Bruto is.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see a Viola ban, but not from Bruto actually. It's kind of hard because you have to then question about the jungle picks. Perhaps you decide to ban away the Inara or the Ilva once again, away from Ariel. The Tony's gone. Perhaps you have to try deny these other picks, and we'll just have to see. It will be Viola banned out, and Lorelei going to be the first pick.
Hopefully it's not a Lorelei Celeste again. That show was absolutely stompful. Like, I don't think there's a word to like put it. It was just a calamity out there with the synergy between the fish food, between the stuns on Celeste. It was so good to watch. Ariel actually hovering this Yilva. They might have some more synergy when it comes down to that because of the stuns being set up by Electronic, by Ariel, by Joey Skaggs on this Lorelei, but he shouldn't be playing the Lorelei, should be Keys. Unomo
and
picks up the
Ilva
lance.
being hovered up here as well. No sign, no move. So the lance, and no surprise to see that picked up by him. But actually gonna choose not to go for the Ilva. I thought Ariel would pick it, having access to it in this game, but instead the Celeste and the double heal comp with the water wall and the Grace. We usually see this actually will be the Samuel. And we see this on 3v3 in the past. We've seen the Lorelei and the Grace come together in hyper carry comps like with a Vox in 3v3. But choosing to go with this with the double heal or the heal and the barrier with the water wall onto a hyper carry Electronic. It'll be interesting to see how this works in 5v5.
We actually see them hovering over an Arden. So you're going to have a heal on top of a double barrier comp for the side of Joey Skaggs.
This is literally carry the carry. Like keep them alive, protect them, and they will win you the game. But this is also really risky as well. I've seen so many times teams go for only 2 damage heroes and 3 support for utility, and it doesn't work because if one falls in a team fight, you've only got 1 more to do the damage, and if they can't output that, then you're gonna flop as a team. So you have to protect your carries. A churn gonna be picked up here.
Yeah, we do see 3 melee champions on the side of Bruto's team, but Inara, I wouldn't even count it as a melee champ because whenever she's in team fights, she pops her ult, so it's really hard to land any chains. I'm surprised as to why they picked Churn. We see them hovering the Baron. Okay, yeah, that kind of makes a lot more sense. Baron and Churnwalker on the same team with a Lorelei and a Grace.
It's interesting that the Churn on Ariel might go into the jungle. I can see why, but I would also kind of expect to see the Churn in the lane as well. But in the jungle, it still makes sense because you can still walk up to the bushes and gank players because with the cleave, with the Samuel and the Churn together is just so strong because you're multiplying the damage that you're doing on Malice and Verdicts onto other members when you hit even just one hero on the enemy team.
This is interesting. I'm going to be surprised. Actually, I won't be surprised if Ariel gives everything to Joey Skaggs. This is going to be a hyper-fed Baron team. I'm calling it right now.
You can't do it another way though, because the Baron, I feel like, is really, if the Baron falls behind, you lose the game. Because Baron, if he is behind in a game, he struggles so hard to get into the late game because it is so hard to perform. Either Baron kind of flops for me, or he one shots the entire team.
I completely agree with you actually. I feel like his damage output is always kind of there. He always has a presence in a fight after he has 2 or 3 items. But if he's the most fed character in the entire game, it's just there's no stopping a fed Baron. It's just over.
Yeah, you see a 2k damage come out from the Baron, and you know at that point it's time to surrender.
Exactly. He has a Santa hat on, so he definitely wants to deliver these presents of damage to the enemy team.
I like what you did there. I like what you did.
Both drafts actually coming out to be fairly balanced. The damage output from a Baron and the damage output from a Kayn are ridiculously high. I'm just kind of worried as to how Ariel is going to play this turn. This turn is going to be the make it or break it sort of piece in this composition. And if Ariel plays the same way that he played last game, which is out of his mind, then to no surprise, Joey Skaggs' team will win. But if he's not able to deliver on that end, then this should be a pretty fairly fought victory for the side of Wisdom X and Bruto.
I think Bruto can still pop this out and get to a third game, but I think it's going to be hard just seeing how good Electronic is. And Electronic actually, by taking up the Samuel, saying, look, Bruto, this is how you play the Samuel, and trying to show him up. But Bruto on the Scarf this game. Scarf,
gets
something
stunned.
you don't usually see, and Bruto actually going down to half health already.
Yeah, he's not respecting the Lorelei stun, and he's not respecting the range, right? He is a Scarf, but he's like standing melee range on minions. Electronic with the sweet sidestep onto Bruto. Bruto dodges the sides, like he actually sidestepped Keys' stun, throws the B out. Electronic looking to poke out a little bit more damage, wants to push the wave under tower.
Yeah, doing so well, and Fish through there just to zone Bruto out and keep him in front where the Mouse and Verdicts can hit him, and Bruto going very low, but Electronic taking a lot of crit damage is going to put him very low as well, and Bruto has to go back, and that's as well as Immersion so low. In the bot lane though, we see Ariel just sitting there with Joey Skaggs and really trying to bully Noma.
Wisdom X actually just popped his boots onto Electronic, but like he popped his boots.
Almost going down. Sidesteps that combo.
Ariel playing the AFK bait here, lands the chain, is able to pull No Soy No Mo, walks into the duo. Wisdom X has no more boots.
Yeah, it looks like actually it will just be first blood here from the lands getting put in time after time by the Churnwalker, and Wisdom X, there's really nothing he can do. Because with Joey Skaggs there and Ariel there as well, just to pull you in, it makes it so hard. And I expect Immersion to start making more rotations down to the bot lane, because if they don't respect the fact that Ariel is just sitting there to hyper carry Joey Skaggs in this bot lane, then they will find very quickly that this Baron is going to come out of control.
I was quite surprised to see Unomo kind of root into a chain. There was no really point for him to root that. I feel like he should have just recalled there, but instead he gave first blood. Maybe it was just a mistake. Maybe he lagged. Maybe it was some communication. I mean, internet error. But kind of am surprised to see him make a mistake like that.
Face food there in the mid lane from Bruto, putting Bruto down pretty low as well there, Blanks. And looking at the scoreboard right now, the gold, about 1,000 gold actually in favour of Joey's team still, and we're about just 4 minutes into the game, 2 minutes till the first objective, and Goatswing spawns in. And apart from that first kill, we've been pretty quiet so far.
Actually, we're only 1k gold up right now, but last game, even though Electronic and Keys and Ariel had this wonderful game, the gold lead was only 3k. It was not a lot, but Electronic might actually try to get solo kill here by Bruto. Bruto lands the autos, lands the A's. Keys looking to get dove here by Wisdom X.
Double kill.
And that will be some nice 2 juicy kills going over to the side of Team Bruto. And they're both going to go to this Scarf, which is what you want as well. And that's going to be nice pocket. He's going to be able to catch up to his Baron, who already has the heavy steel going on. And the first turret's being pressured here by Joey Skaggs. And Ariel just sat in that lane once again.
Exactly. Ariel trying to play the AFK bait without moving, trying to kind of taunt Unomo into a route, but that's not going to work. Gold lead actually kind of balanced out again. Never mind. It's only about 700 now.
Yeah, with those 2 kills going on to Bruto, that's exactly how that has happened there, Blanks. And we see the vision control as well. The vision control, something we not talked about tonight, but it's so important as well, especially against players like Ariel, who are going to run at you from the bushes, from outside of your vision. You need to maintain the vision control to stop that, especially in the mid lane, where you've got squishy, vulnerable heroes like Bruto who want to attack from range.
No, exactly. I'm actually quite surprised, and I'm actually quite intrigued that you pointed that out. We have not actually pointed out Joyce's vision control. As we see there's a lot more red cams than there are any blue ones, especially in this bottom side of the map. And there's even cams in the top side here for red side.
Looks like talking about vision control is what you need here, because we're out by 3. With the help of Keys and Electronic, he's going to be able to get out of here. Compliment actually getting trespassed up, and with the Oblivion to sleep. Get back into the healing platform, Kane, because you just got silenced and put to sleep there by the side of Electronic on this Samuel. And Bruto has to respect, I think, the damage. Seeing what happened to his teammate here in Nomo is
actually manages to steal out the gold tree and can actually... Wait, is he lagging? He might. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, looks like he might be having a couple of connection issues, but the Quibble actually going to come out from immersion there, and Ariel tries to get that sneaky kill on Sir Lance when he comes back into the game, but not going to find it. And it'll be 2-2 on the scoreboard, 30 seconds after the first objective. Ghostwing has just spawned in, and we're still looking at about a 1,000 gold for the side of Team Joey.
Exactly, and like how this game has been going, it honestly seems like it could still go any one way, right? Right now that Ghostwing is up, we need to start looking at wave management, right? What team is going to be able to push the lanes faster and is going to be able to rotate down faster to this Ghostwing objective? Obviously, Joey Skaggs and Ariel have the advantage, but we see Bruto and Immersion rotating down onto Ariel and Joey.
Now, Ariel just going to be pushed back into his own jungle here. And Electronic and Keisha talk about wave management, pushing his waves in when the rotations come out. The trespass onto the Oblivion combination, put back to sleep and into Ion Cannon from the Baron is what you see onto Brutal, and that will be the Scarf going down. And that will be nothing that No Sinomo can do. Rotating too late there. Does actually manage to find a route and the quick snipe onto this Churn Walker. Electronic going to have to run back. Wisdom X trying to find that kill. Can't quite find it with the ulti there.
These teams are just trading kills back and forth and back and forth. It's kind of one team engages, somebody dies, and then right off the back of that, they're like, oh no, they're trying to recall, they're trying to reset, they're trying to get the edge.
We got to go, like, right?
Exactly, it's just, there's so much action actually happening, and it's only 7 minutes into the game. No team has been able to have the decisive.
So respectful of these teams, right? They're being so respectful, but when the team fight happens, they both know exactly when to engage in, and we see actually Combo and Life trying to dish it out in his top lane. Just executed though by Combo Man, get outplayed, Grace.
1 HP, that's not something that we normally see out of Life. Life, actually, yeah, no, that's not something that we usually tend to see off of Life. He almost got the 1v1 onto Combo Man. Recently, he's been handing him a tough matchup in the last game with the Lance, and this game almost manages to get the kill onto him, but Combo Man able to outplay and go 1-for-1 here on his KDA.
Yeah, and I just kind of wanted to talk about the builds here, because Spellfire versus Frostburn on the Scarf, what do you think is better? Because we're seeing Spellfire here, Bruto. Speaking of this Scarf, almost going down, but what do you think about this pick?
What do I think about this pick?
On the build.
I feel like Frostburn honestly works better with Samuel just because he has so much AoE and the reach he has is like ridiculous. Obviously you get more damage with the Spellfire, and you could argue you get more damage and a little bit more like poke, I guess, like with the Spellfire, but the Frostburn, look, they have a Churnwalker, they have a Lorelei, and they have a Baron, right? You want them to stay together as much as possible, so the itemization here on Electronic actually works perfectly. I wouldn't even be surprised if he goes for a Clockwork second item, but Bruto gets outpoked incredibly hard, even right after recalling and coming back to lane for the first time.
Yeah, I move my screen up to the top lane for a second, and Bruto drops down to half of health. 10 minutes into the game, 2 minutes until this second objective, the Blacklaw is going to be spawning in. In what I'm just kind of keeping my eye on Joey on first item, but
Combo
actually
Man.
going to be in the top lane, and the Trespass comes out into the fish food, and Common Man just going to have to sit and look as his fate just comes out in front of him. He will be actually going straight back onto the healing platform. That'll be a return for life there, I'm sure. The kill that went away earlier.
Wisdom X actually blows the ultimate to try to save this tower. They don't get as much out of it as they would have hoped, but Electronics team looking to go right back into mid lane, farming up this crystal tree and trying to get these power spikes and set up for this next team fight. They're only 2k gold up, but that's still not even that much of a difference. Wisdom X manages to secure the blue buff.
Maybe to come out soon. Yeah, Nara's so good at stealing these CP buffs, and something that's not what we talked about either is and how good Nara is. Nara arguably, I would say, the best hero in the game for steals.
That's definitely true. Her mobility is way too much, and sometimes teams that revolve around skill shots, right? Like CC, I mean, like, yeah, revolve around skill shot AoE,
The Forster core, they're going to be crucibled out in the execute. Not going to matter as all these teams very healthy here, Blanks, but the fight looks like neither team kind of wants to fully engage here.
oh my goodness, these teams, I honestly don't
Here
know
comes the
what's going to happen.
Scarf.
What?
Never mind. The Scarf's just kind of showing his potential.
Oh, Wisdom X, these teams just start fighting on the flip of a coin.
Here comes Joey Skag, and Combo Man just 2-3 shots from this Baron, and that's how quickly this damage can be outputted from the Baron. The Iron Can also separating the team, but Lance has been left alone in that bot lane. Has to respect rotation here from Joey Skag. Does choose to come out. Ariel's going to pull him back in, but that's not going to matter. And in mid lane as well, we see Bruto going quite low. Electronic mid health and Keys as well, just very low. Can't quite fight either team right now through that fight. No players dropping from that engagement.
It's been 12 minutes now, and no towers have fallen. It's 4-4, and there's only a 1k gold differential for the side of Electronic.
And that shows you just how good these two teams are and how respectful these two teams are. But they're choosing to fight. There have been 8 kills that have gone so far in this game, and it might be a 9th as life gets pulled down. But Copperman running out of bullets there won't be able to finish the job.
Yeah, these recalls in Vainglory are so fast. I've been playing so much League of Legends lately. It kind of feels like you could just abuse them over and over and over. And as we see, some of these players really are. As soon as you get dropped down, instead of popping your flask, you just pop a quick recall. You'll be back to lane in no time. Might be a skirmish.
And it's about that War Treads coming out, and the War Treads also in response. And you know, actually, just going to be the Inara ulti, not the War Treads. Excuse me. And the Wisdom X actually choosing into the jump straight in, straight back out, gets the CP buff. Cheeky Joslu here, and that will be what he's looking for. Just snipes one right out from under him.
Yeah, now I don't exactly know how these team fights are gonna go. I feel like the way that Wisdom X team needs to play is they need to engage to re-engage. Engage and disengage and then engage again. We know that Joey Sky's like, okay, the way Electronics team wants to play is they want these prolonged team fights. They want to fight in the drifting dark. They want Baron to just burst and deal as much damage as possible, but at the same time they have a Churnwalker. Keys misses the stun.
Here comes Combo Man trying to go in, but the Trespass gets out, and so the Oblivion is used. And Ariel just can't quite find any target. He can't pull that Finn in. Combo Man trying to execute from range. Life still trying to push in this top lane. Meanwhile, Lance defending the bot lane. Joey Skaggs isn't here in this fight either. But Ariel trying to get the chains together. The fish food there might just be able to take down the Finn. No, they won't be able to, but they'll push this wave in nonetheless.
Baron
King having to answer Life in the top lane. The Baron ulti
does not hit immersion.
Yeah, cannot fight that player there, but Electronic going down half health. The Scarf plus and Nara jumping in, but Bruto, they just can't quite find any kills. Both teams so respectful right now.
Exactly, yeah, both teams so respectful, barely getting out by the skin of their teeth. Life actually trying to 1v1 combo, man. Um, Immersion back into mid lane, full HP. Bruto, about half HP, has around 500 gold in his pocket. Could use that to look for an infusion for this next upcoming fight. There are no infusions except for in the pocket of Joey Skaggs and on Bruto at the moment.
Yeah, Bruto running a level 11 fusion. That won't be lasting. But another Kane actually did push the first turret of the game in his bot lane, and that will be one turret going for the side of Team Bruto there. For the side of Spain is Africa, and Live trying to move in here into the mid lane with no more turrets to defend, putting the damage out onto Bruto with Joey Skaggs and that double shot, and this is just the power of Joey jumping in and trying to delete one member. Ariel gonna try pull him in and share that damage onto the rest. But Combo Man are coming in, trying to find life. The Benediction coming in, but of course the core doesn't matter. The Crucible died, but
Scarf ultimate
landed, and the Iron Cannon coming out, but it will actually go CP buff to Team
Joey Skaggs still alive.
As actually Bruto just falls straight down, and Joey Skaggs actually rooted up Giphy and Wall, but they still can't quite find that kill. Wisdom X, Joselu trying to find
Ariel still has
kill,
his ultimate though.
Some way in.
Combo Man
deleted by this Kane, and now Ariel is surely gonna fall as well, and this is the power of the Kane when you get the items on your hand, and that will be Joey regretting that one.
Combo Man's positioning in that team fight, I was gonna say his positioning so far has not been the best, but this team fight proves to show that Combo Man really knows how to
He went for it.
He went for it, and he stood at as far back as possible not to get hit by the Baron. Somehow finds vision onto him, threads the needle, lands the triple tap, and gets the kill onto Baron and onto Ariel. So props to Combo Man.
That. Two bear camps on the backside of the blue side jungle there as well. Commander's doing so well, trying to steal some more jungle life. But guess what, buddy, you trying? I mean, just gonna go back and kind of relax a little bit from that crazy team fight. And we're now 17 minutes into the game. You can't mistake it. Even though we've seen not too many turrets go down, we are already approaching the late game here, Blanks.
Exactly, we are. We do see an infusion onto Combo Man. Immersion kind of stepping into Life Electronic and Keys. Combo Man sitting in a bush, taps Electronic with one bullet. Life able to body block that out.
Now comes the War Treads again, just to try disengage from Ariel, who's been so aggressive. The Crucible comes out there from the fourth court. Nice timing on that. No, sorry, not trying to get pulled in. The splash down there just to try zone Bruto out as well. And they're going to try look for this engagement perhaps, but with a force core down, it's going to be very difficult.
Exactly, starting up this Black Claw. They see Joey Skaggs in the bot lane. Life recalled, not entirely sure if they knew that, but it's definitely a really good opportunity. They have Insane Siege here with the Cane and the Scarf. This might send us into a third game of the series.
Yeah, third game in the series perhaps. We'll just have to see, but the fight breaks out here, and Ariel actually going to go quite low. The Crucible actually puts 3 members to sleep. That's going to allow Ariel some time to survive and get those chains started, but Joey has to recall back. This Kane in the top lane, trying to get that second tier turret. Scarf going in for this Churnwalker, decides to move back though, doesn't want to get pulled in. This Blacklord pushing down the first tier turret in the mid lane, combo on the second tier turret. Joey has to try and answer this Kane, going to get popped half health.
Joey Skaggs
going to take down. This is the battle of who can burst down who first. Wisdom trying to join in. Life trying to also join in on the Grace in the mid lane as well. We see 2 fights happening. The Trespass in the mid lane from the Churnwalker, and in the top lane we also see Joey trying to engage, but actually gets stunned up by the Lance here, and the Iron Cannon's going to come out. The Finn's going to be the first to fall in this fight. Finally someone goes down, and that will be 3 turrets pushed for the side of Team Blue.
Look at this bot lane tower right now, right? We can see the wave. It's so pushed up over here on bot lane from Joey Skaggs. They are sending this lane to try to defend it. It's not going to go down, but that was very good chunk. Now here, the ultimate from Life actually being able to save the life of Joey Skaggs, able to secure the kill onto Combo Man. The damage from both teams is ridiculous. Honestly, the first person to get a kill in the team fight is most likely going to be the one.
Here comes Wisdom X. He
managed
to steal one. That's the one that you want realistically, and he's going to try and find a way out here, but Ariel's got him chased. He's going to have to boots out as Ariel tries boots in, but he's going to dip dive dodge out there, and that will be a successful red buff steal forward to the side of Wisdom X.
Yeah, as we see right now on the bottom side of our screens, we can see that all ultimates are almost up. Flasks have minimum 1 minute up on
Yeah, and that
cooldown.
team fight we expect to come out soon. But that's a
Combo
stun
Man.
it you need. And Combo Man going very low. Perhaps it's great positioning here. And Combo Man still. The pull trigger has been hit, but now we see the execute going to come out, and that's going to be unfortunately the Finn going to come down for the first blood once again in this fight, and now they're going to try and move their sights onto the rest of the top sides jungle and try push this wave up against this. Kane try make him out of the team fight to answer this wave with Joey Skaggs up in the top lane.
Exactly.
Choosing not to go for the first tier turret, but actually the trespass.
Wisdom X actually might end up getting cut out.
Enough. The boots coming out. The ulti sorry on this Inara, and perhaps you just have to be careful. The pool once again from Ariel. He's going to try his best to escape, but the pool's going to be on low cooldown. That's going to be pulled in once again. And Wisdom X, he's trying his best to try survive, but if they lose 2 members, this could be really bad for them. But Kane not there either. He's going to try respawn. Bruto's not there. Just trying to. They're quite split right now, and with that pick on this Inara, almost could have been a really bad mistake made with Blackwall about to come up soon.
What is this game? 7-7. Only a 3k gold lead for the side of Bruto, but it does not seem like it because Electronics team is actually playing out of their minds. They're playing super aggressive even though they're behind. What is up with Europe? They're so aggressive.
Europe are just playing such a good game of Vainglory tonight, and we can just expect to see more of that, whether it the end of this game or a third game of the series here. Team Bruto versus Team Joey Skaggs, and they find the impale onto Keys, and the fight engages here once again, and that will be Inara trying to jump in with the ulti, but it doesn't matter as now the Lancer's trying to roll out here and try to dodge any mispositions here, but Ariel jumping in, and Wisdom X actually managed to steal another buff away from the side of Team Joey. Just absolutely god plays right now, and he's so sneaky. Call him sneaky. He is sneaky V2 here, Blanks.
Now, as we can see Electronics team actually has the top wave being pushed into them, but it's too far away from them to try to like actually contest. Bot lane is pushing ridiculously hard
This is dangerous. Can he pull this off? I think the rest of Joey's team know it, and they're trying to go in, but they want it, and pure that Blacklaw, but they are low, and they just chose to engage with the Blacklaw heal, and they're going straight onto Joey Skaggs. They're trying their best. The Crucibles are out, but it doesn't matter.
Skaggs is still alive though.
And Joey Skaggs survives, and that's not what you want to see. The scarf also in the back bit's gonna fall.
Baron still alive miraculously somehow.
Baron still surviving, gets the triple kill here on the Baron, and this is what we want to see. Joey Skaggs are now having to turn their attention on to the Blacklaw. It's going to take 1 turret, but they lose 3 members, and with more turrets being lost on their own side, Team Bruto have to be careful about these waves.
The gold lead is no more. The game is almost dead even with almost a 500... No, it's only a 1,000 gold lead. What was 3,000 for the side of Wisdom X. Keys has no energy. They need to look to back right now, but I think they're just going to clear their jungle really quickly before having a full reset. These team fights, they're not able to kill Joey. They're not able to shut him down, and that is how it's going to end up. There's just way too much to keep him alive, and Electronic is doing his best to keep them off of him. The Drifting Dark slowing everybody. The Lorelei slowing everybody. The Grace slowing everybody. And again, the Churnwalker doing his best to slow everybody. There is so much CC, they're not able to kill Joey, and honestly, if they do kill Joey, then that is their win condition, but...
If they manage to find his Baron, that will be the game surely for Team Bruto, will edge out to a third game of the series, but Wisdom X trying to find him on this Inara, and this is where the Crucibles come in to prevent the kickback, because even a kickback on the Inara onto Joey could spell the end of his Baron. We have to respect that the Baron, although building 4 items, only has a reflex block, is still very, very squishy with no defense items, really, apart from the block.
We do have to keep in mind that he did max out his B though, right? His jump jets, meaning that he can get out of any sticky situation without any repercussions since it does cancel any CC. Ariel lands a chain onto Lance.
Looks like the Lance trying to get pulled back in here, but Combo Man trying to find something.
Ariel,
the Cloister Core does it late. Treads to escape there, and now no so never actually having to pop the War Treads himself here as he goes down half health, and the first tier turret's still up for Team Bruto.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Electronic was trying to do. He was kind of taking a swim there in Scarf's goop for like 7 seconds, but force him to recall. He's now coming back almost at around full HP. He is full HP. Ariel still has his ultimate. We can look for that trespass in this upcoming fight. And Nara still has ultimate, but Finn does not.
And this is where the engage perhaps comes in. I was going to talk about the vision here, and the vision as well, protecting their own jungle. Joey Skaggs are doing such a good job at making sure the cams are not being placed inside their own jungle. They're maintaining control of it away from Visinara.
Exactly. We see Keys trying to proc the Ghost Wing, trying to deal as much damage as possible onto the other side using free objectives, but actually coming back to hurt him as it hits Electronic twice. Keys lands a double stun.
They find a double man fish foods, and this could be the engagement here.
Oh my goodness!
The pops them both sides into absolutely deleted from the rise. Kane get erased, and that will be one member down for the side of Team Bruto. Can they take a second? The trespass comes out onto 2 members, but now the Scarf's trying to use the Dragon's Breath, trying to pull people out, but the Baron's not here in the fight, and this is where they need to take it, but unfortunately they don't have the damage. Electronics trying to find it on the return. The Iron Cannon comes out onto the lance, putting him very low, and they just can't take anyone down, even without the Baron, because they don't have the Cane. They only have, and I say, 2 members that do damage, and when one of them dies so early, it's so hard for your team to output the damage that you need.
Exactly. Electronic ate almost every single form of CC. He ate the root, he ate the quibble, he ate the land stun against the wall. I'm not sure any Spitfires hit him just because there were too many people body blocking, but still, it forced so much out of the side of his team, of this Joey Skaggs squad, but still not able to kill him. This just goes to show now they have a Ghost Wing buff. They're going to be even that much harder to kill on top of these barriers that it offers, the regen, the energy regen. Joey Skaggs needs to look for a fight here if they want to close this game. Combo Man and Bruto need to be super passive.
Is empowered here. Joey Skaggs, we need to see the positioning come out from Man like he had in that one fight where he took out Joey Skaggs, because the positioning is so important. You cannot get caught by that burst damage from this Baron. We'll hope to see that he can play this positioning well enough. The first fight finally goes down with the help of the Ghost Wing buff for the side of Joey Skaggs. That's going to give them some more maneuvering to do around the jungle. We can invade further, and they're trying to set up vision. They're trying to go around actually to push this top lane here, and they're going straight into for the fight, and the water has come out here, but the engage not going to happen quite yet.
Exactly. As we see, bot lane is sort of pushing into them. Joey Skaggs doing an incredibly good job of wave control. They kind of want to zone them off. They could look to start the Black Claw right now since their Ghost Wing buff is still active. Joey Skaggs, he does have that maxed ultimate range, able to hit the Drake from outside the wall. Keys lands a stun onto Bruto.
Bruto, Wisdom X, can he steal it? He's been stealing things all game. Can he steal this Black Core? He'll need it to try to keep his team in the game. The Iron Cannon is going to come through, and it will be secured by Team Joey. And this is what we talk about the lane control, because Kane is down in the bot lane because of this wave control. They've set up these minions before taking the Black Claw. They've been so patient about this objective that they now take it so easily, and they can now use this as a way to push down this mid lane. And no, we're actually going to roll straight into the turret. Has to be careful of Ariel who can pull them back in.
Exactly. All of these teams, these players are just trying to defend this mid lane and also trying to shove it in. Wisdom pops his block. Crucible is popped in order to deny the pull.
And that will be the force cord, as you say, missed out. But the bird turret's now gone. The Black Claw still very, very healthy here. They have to pull out the defense of their life. Keys is actually going very, very low. Combo Man doing the damage that he needs, but still, Wisdom X now comes in with an infusion pop, trying to find the damage. Kick back into Scarf. Now the 15 wall onto 3, but the choke point, can he do it? The Iron Cannon is going to hit a lot of members here, but it doesn't matter. It's now Joslu's going very low. He has to come out to fight. And we're trying to do this damage. He can do the CC that he can, but Combo Man is already down and he's already dead.
The dragon
on the Vein Crystal. It's just going to be 2-0 for Joey Skaggs to say take the series in dominant fashion.
3,000 gold lead. Again, only this game has been so close, even though the kills don't show. The player play style, the way that these teams are playing, they are not scared at all. They're pushing each and every single limit. That is huge respect to every single person playing in these games. These guys definitely know their limits, although there are some things that they can fix here and there, right? Some positioning errors, some micro mistakes that they're not landing skill shots, but that's all things that you can fix, right? These players are playing out of their minds. Every game is fairly close. 3,000 gold lead is probably the max that it's gotten to. We haven't seen a 10,000 gold lead yet at all, I don't think, in these last 4 games. But still, Joey Skaggs' team, this synergy, this DVI roster is able to take the dub on Bruto's team.
Yeah, it's just been such a close game, and as you say, it's not a 10,000 lead, and it could have so easily been that way. Come a couple more small mistakes from either team, and Joey Skaggs keeping himself to this late game, and Wade was just deleting Combo Man from the rise with this Baron, and that's what we talked about with the Tension Bow, with the Tyrant's Monocle, and with the Tornado Trigger just bursting out that damage that he needs to. And Samuel as well can't be not looked at, because as well Electronic has been having a great game and a great first game as well, which led him and Joey Skaggs' team CALUS here for the victory, and showing why they are the champions of Season 1.
Exactly. I don't know. If they continue to play this, there's a possibility that they might go undefeated. Obviously, still, we haven't seen the legend Suki play yet. Vax was in place of him. Hopefully we're able to see him, the Canadian master, put in some work, show his magic, but still, every single team so far has played out of their mind. Everybody's played phenomenally. Props to everybody. These games have been super entertaining. Hopefully you guys are just as entertained as we are here casting these games for you. Any words, Highland?
I mean, what an excellent set of games, right, to open second series of Vainglory Draft Cup. I mean, if all of the days are going to be like this, and like, sign me up, because I will be here for as many days as I can be to catch this action. And I'm just super excited for the rest of the teams that we're going to see tomorrow, because this is only half the entire of the competition. We still got another 4 teams to go.
Exactly. This, I don't know, man. Just competition. Games like these, games that are so close, games that give you that feeling, right? You know everybody's playing their hardest, everybody's trying to win, everybody's focused. That's the environment that everybody misses from Vainglory, right? We haven't had that, and it's such a blessing that people here, like you, Highland, like Viking, are coming out and giving this content here to the Vainglory community, right? People are able to watch these games. They're able to see, right, all of the hard work that these players, even though there's no official Vainglory tournaments, even though there's no official competition, right, you can still see the hard work that these players are still putting in, even though people are like, oh, it's a dead game. Still, it's a passion. People like this game, people like to play, and what's fun is competitive, right? So people are putting in their hard work, and we can then see this hard work that players are putting out and in display for us here in these tournaments.